And look at this silliness. It's like popcorn kernels in the sky. This is very reminiscent of like what a child's illustration of what clouds are. Who let the baby angel paint the clouds today?
We love our little baby angels, though they come up with some of the brightest ideas.
Like look at that. Look at it. Look at that.
And it just keeps on going. Nothing quite like the sky out here in the real world after the storms passed. The real world is beautiful, y'all. Have a look at her sometime. What we got?
They said something about rotating rain curtains and a lot of debris.
Rotating rain curtains and a lot of debris across 412. That's the highway just to the north of us.
The National Weather Service in Tulsa has issued a tornado warning for northeastern Coast County and northeastern Oklahoma, southeastern Tulsa County and northeastern.
Fun times. You know, when I was a kid, I used to love coming out to watch thunderstorms. Yeah, let's see much of this one. Yeah, especially wind and rain. That's okay. You don't want to see the green monster. Seen the green monster a couple of times. It's not a pretty sight. I don't really want to show that to you today. If it's okay with you.
We are definitely...
For those that don't know, the green monster, that's whenever you look up and you see that the sky is sort of lit from within, from some internal lighting source, and it glows a bit on the green side. And somewhere inside of that horrible, awe-inspiring cloud, there is an engine of mass destruction, of which power no man could ever think to have control over, no matter how much they like to believe that we control the weather somehow with our little toys. Shoot, there's not even 8 billion of us on this planet. It's a big planet. And you get a sense for that whenever you look out at the ocean, or you're in the ocean being tossed about, or you're staring right into the green monster, which I will not show you today, because we are not going to see it today.
I think we've only ever seen the green monster once at this house, about a mile out away from us.
Yeah.
Right up in that backyard.
Yeah, we were back here. I was taking a nap in the afternoon and just woke me up. And we came out and looked, and I came out and I looked, and we're right there, in between that tree and that tree, and that little notch right there. We saw it.
Big old, like, bright olive green, kind of muted, but very, very bright storm cloud. Like, the cloud itself was green.
Yep.
Y'all.
That's quite a sight. You ever get to see one. But you're not going to see one today. Just keep it that way. I told it, by God, you're going to head off to the north of here. And it did. Took some shingles off the house next door. Ripped all along the highway. But it didn't touch us. And it never will. Alrighty, there's our non-show show today.
Now we're gonna go answer some questions.
I'm fine. Well, thank you very much. Go ahead, ask your questions. I'm not afraid.
What is your name and who named you?
My name is Jason J. Avers. Most people pronounce it Avers, not Averies. There's no Y in there. Now, my great-grandfather would have insisted that you pronounce it offers, because it's originally German. There's a significant meaning behind that name. I'm not going to get into it right now. But the first name, Jason J, middle name J, that was given to me by my mother. She was very fond of alliteration. She named me Jason J and my two older half-brothers, Roland Roy and Douglas Dean. So I was just kind of following along in that theme. Next question.
How many siblings do you have?
All right, so this is going to be a complicated answer. I kind of already answered a portion of that earlier. I have two half-brothers, both of them older than I am. I'm the baby of the family, and also the smallest. They're 6'4" and 6'9", respectively. I'm only 6 foot. They're half giant on their father's side. We have different fathers. But I do have some adopted brothers. They're not, officially adopted because their parents were married or anything like that. It's after I grew up and left home and came back to Tulsa and what have you. I ran into a bunch of people that I became very close friends with, to the point that we just sort of consider ourselves family. So I have 3 adopted brothers, and their names are Rodney, Roger, and Randy. Next question.
Do you have any special bonds with your grandparents?
All right. Well, I understand that my grandfathers on both sides were still alive when I was a little baby, and I've seen pictures, but I don't have much memory of that because I was just a little baby, and I don't have any real baby memories. My grandmother on my mother's side was still alive whenever I was young, and she was still alive until I was in my 20s, maybe 30s even. Things get fuzzy, but yeah, I had a fairly special bond with my grandmother on my mom's side. Got pneumonia when I was 5. She took care of me. So my mom had to drive me out to Tahlequah, that's where Grandma lived at the time. And she took care of me for close to a month there, and nursed me back to health, and would read to me. So I would get a little bit impatient for the stories. So I got 5 years, between 5 and 6, I was really trying to learn how to read, and by the time I was 7, I was reading pretty good. That was about the time that Grandma came and actually lived with us. So from there on, we had 3 generations in the old farmhouse. It was, of course, myself, my brothers, my mom, her new husband, and my grandmother, all under the same roof. I don't know why some people think that we just have to make sure the kids get out of the house and go out into the world and be their own man and build their own debt. And it's just silly. 401ks go away, stock markets crash, the people that take the money from us every month and never give it back keep on saying that there's something for our retirement or our old age that's going to be there for us, but we all know it's not. The one thing that has continued to work for thousands of years is family. So if you've got family you can count on, then you should count on family you can count on. And if you don't have family you can count on, well, you can always adopt.
Good for you.
Just imagine this. If it takes 20 years to pay off a note on a house, and you get a house where you have enough room for a few people, you pay off the note on that house after 20 years, kids are now grown. You live in that house for another 20 to 40 years, maybe even 60 years, who knows? And then after that, the kids take over the ownership of the house because you're no longer around to do it. But old people can take care of the young ones. The people that are of working age go out and work and actually pay the bills, but there's no more note on the house to pay. That just means your family gets wealthier and wealthier as time goes on. No, move out, get your own place, get your own apartment, just pay money every month to have nothing. I don't understand what that's about. It makes no sense to me. None whatsoever. I don't know what people are thinking. Anyway, a little bit of water falling from the sky here. What else you got? My hobbies are development of skills. If there's a skill out there that I can pick up and I can learn how to do, I want to learn how to do it. I'm teaching myself how to play the guitar, how to play the fiddle. Well, violin technically, but most of it's fiddle music.
Except when it comes down to Christmas time.
Well, yeah, I played some Christmas carols around Christmas time. I got an entire list of them that I run through. Of course, learn how to garden, learn how to grow trees, grow food, grow plants and flowers, make medicine. I've learned how to make my own charcoal, make and extract my own nitrates, make my own gunpowder. Find the lead ore in the rock and extract that from the rock and cast my own bullets. Learned how to brew my own beer. One of these days I'll figure out how to take what I've brewed and turn it into something more potent. Don't laugh, it's got medicinal purposes. I'm not a big whiskey drinker. I have some every now and then. But alright, moving on. Next question.
Did you enjoy high school?
Nobody enjoys high school. Next question.
How do you relieve stress?
I take a deep breath and remember that this is all temporary and let it go. And that's about it.
Okay. Given the fact that that question doesn't really apply to you, how would you recommend that others relieve stress?
Well, good method for stress relief is to find someone or something that you love and hold them close.
Pet a cat.
Yep, pet
Read
your
your
cat.
favorite book.
Pet your cat. Play with your dog. Turn to your significant other and look at him and just say, "I love you." Just look them in the eye, tell them you love them. Feel that love come back at you. Your stress will melt.
Read your favorite book. Watch a funny video. Do something that you enjoy and that takes your mind off the things that you're worried about.
No, you don't want to take your mind off the thing that you worry about. You just have to focus on what's more important.
Well, sometimes people have overactive minds and they can't stop thinking about what they're worrying
what
about.
what you're talking about there is sublimination, and sublimination may bury a problem, but it's a lot better to move past the problem. So, love does it. Love banishes anger, banishes fear, relieves stress. So I'd say love. Get some. Next question.
Who is the longest friend you have? Or I guess who is your best friend?
Okay. Well, remember earlier we were talking about my adopted brothers, and those are my best friends there. I'm probably closest to Randy Stevens. He's the youngest of the three brothers, closest to my age, I think. No, actually, he's younger than I am. Yeah.
Rod's probably the closest to your age.
Yeah, Rod's the oldest. I might actually be older than Rod. But they were like 1 year, so they were like all together. And then her mom said, "Okay, I'm done having kids of my own. I'll just adopt them from now on." So.
Which is what happened with you.
So hi, Lila. Adopted mom. Yeah, she adopted me. Yeah, I'm probably closest to Randy. We're both the third child.
Y'all have a real mind meld thing going on there.
Yeah. We both live in our heads a lot. So we can have conversations about crazy stuff.
Just about anything with just a look.
Yeah, we got that instantaneous communication thing going on to the point where, just give me a look, I know everything you're thinking. Yep. That's a good friend right there. Next question.
What is your favorite movie?
I'm going to go with a set of movies, actually 2 sets of movies since they're kind of related. I would take the box set of Peter Jackson's The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings.
Just throw it all in there.
Throw it all together. I'll watch it all in one go if I can. If
you
not,
would be up for like a full 24 hours.
Yeah, and I need my beauty sleep. Have you seen this face? Yeah. Next question.
What is your favorite book?
My favorite book. I do have quite a few favorites, quite a few favorite authors, but the one that I've been trying to get the short person behind the camera there to read for the longest time.
I have started this book actually.
Okay.
I love it so much. It is so good.
She's finally started it. It's called The War Magician. It's a biography of a British stage magician that during the Second World War volunteered for service and went down to the African theater to fight against Rommel. But he didn't fight with weapons. He fought with his wits and his stage magic. And he brought that stage magic to the battlefield and did some amazing things. And you're just going to have to read it for yourself because it reads like it's a fiction story, but it's absolutely true. We'll put a picture up there so you can see it. All right. What else you got?
This question I feel is particularly appropriate for what is happening right now.
Raining?
Huh?
What, raining?
What is your favorite thing to do on a stormy day?
Sleep. I like sleeping.
Ooh, the sun's starting to poke out again. I see it over there on the shadow of the building.
I like to sleep whenever it's storming out. You know, something about just listen to there's a sheet metal roof on the building next door to us. Listen to that rain falling on that sheet metal roof. Just reminds me of being back in the pole barn as a kid, and those early mornings before the sun had come out and it was raining or sleeping or whatever, and you could just curl up in your coat in the little cubby in the hay and just go to sleep until somebody came along and yelled at you because you weren't doing your chores. But now that I'm grown, there's nobody to yell at me because I'm not doing my chores, so I can just enjoy it. I like to sleep on stormy days. Unless somebody wakes me up and says, Daddy, there's sirens going off. All right, next question.
This question also feels appropriate now that the storm is starting to break and we can actually see the sun again.
Yeah?
What is your favorite thing to do when the weather is perfect?
Sleeping. Yeah. I like to sleep whenever it's sunny.
We're big old bears.
Big old bears. Give me some fish and some berries and I'm happy.
Also a scratch and post.
Yeah. Well, this one's not good.
It's too short.
I need to wait for that tree to get a bit bigger. Speaking of trees, I'd like to just kick back underneath one with a line in the water, waiting for some fish to bite, and just snoozing, I guess, on a nice warm summer afternoon. Get some berries I can just reach over there and pick. That's sounds like a good time to me.
Case in point, bear.
Yep, I'm just a big old teddy bear. All right, next question.
This one seems kind of redundant, but big city or small town?
Well, I'll tell you. If you cannot walk out your front door and have everything you need to eat within 50 feet of your front door, then you need to move. So, all you people that live in big cities, pack up your stuff, get out of there. Go penniless. Go with the clothes on your back if you have to. Just keep on walking away from that city until you find someplace where you can live a normal life. If that happens to be a small town, although I doubt it, then you could live in a small town. Personally, I don't see much reason for towns in the first place. People aren't meant to live on top of each other. Next question. Answer the question, whenever this is all over, we're going to go out, we're going to sit down at a restaurant and eat some food that somebody else has prepared. That's what we're going to do.
Sushi!
Alright, now do you have any questions?
Okay. So, what has starting the channel and actually filming the gardening process and things of that nature taught you, I guess?
It's taught me
What have you gotten from this so far?
Well, it's taught me that those people that are making a living doing YouTube creation, guys, that's not an easy job. I mean, just doing a little bit of it, it's not easy. You know, there's a lot of work in shooting the video, editing the video, coming up with ideas for videos. If that was my business, then that would be some work. Like getting about 3 videos out a week is about the limit. I've got other things I need to get done other than just make videos. Trying to make an actual nursery, the camera seems like a distraction sometimes, or a little bit of extra work that I don't really need. But on the other hand, you know, it's rewarding. It's connected me to a fairly large community of people out there. Some of them good friends now, and life is a lot easier with friends. What you got?
What are some of your extended plans for either your channel or for in general for the garden or just in life itself?
Oh, good question. All right, extended plans. So the current plan is continue on through this year and into next year, developing the nursery on this 3rd acre here. Egyptian walking onions, blueberries, hazelnuts, goji berries, Elaeagnus. If it wasn't classified as an invasive alder as well. Redbud, rosemary, a few assorted perennials like the daylilies, things of that nature. I'll grow some garlic for sale, for fresh garlic. What else? Basically build up a nursery for two purposes. The first purpose, of course, is to raise a little bit of capital so we can pick up some acreage. A third of an acre is not enough to do what it is that I want to accomplish. I've got a long-term plan for basically a grand experiment.
Which is exactly the question that I just asked you.
Okay, so you want to know about the grand experiment?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was alluding to.
I have to capitalize it first. I can't just go, poof, there it is.
Well, obviously.
There is a root to that, and the root is related, because in the course of building a nursery and selling a few things, I will also get the hazelnuts, blueberries, alder trees, pecans, etc. that I need for the big project. And the big project is to take a set of acres. I have no idea how many at this point, but a set of acres, and plant it up in such a way that it's covered with perennial plants, pecans, alders, hazelnuts, blueberries, pears, what have you.
I see a Sergeant Crybaby.
Hi, Sergeant Kitty. Hi.
Look at him. He's
Hey,
so
buddy.
cute.
You just walking on? Okay, he's just walking on. He squeaks. He doesn't meow.
It's adorable.
Apparently, he's come out of hiding. It stopped raining.
The storm's finally
Now
broken.
he's going to walk around and see if there's any food. Anyway, so we're going to have, and I'm thinking in my head 10 acres, but we can do it with 5. We could even do it with 1, I suppose. I just want to get those trees in, get everything planted up, and then demonstrate the productive capacity of that space. Because the big question is, how many people can this planet support? And
Squeaker!
what I've drawn up, hello buddy, what I've drawn up is a plan that will allow using perennials 1 acre to support 6 people for all of their needs: food, medicine, clothing, everything, shelter. That's 1 acre of arable landmass here in the temperate zone. You could probably do more in the tropics, but one acre in the temperate zone. Basically zones 4 through 9 is the target area. That's about 14 billion acres of land on planet Earth. We're not even talking about pasture land or what you can get from the oceans and lakes and rivers and streams. That's just the land that's typically used for farming. 14 billion acres of that. And if we can get 6 people fed, housed, clothed, treated for illnesses, etc., off of 1 acre, then that's 84 billion people this planet can support, and no more than 6 people per acre of highly dense population. That's your high density, is 6 people per acre. That's hardly any density at all. 84 billion people on planet Earth. That's not even talking about the peppers, potatoes, the other annual crops that you can grow under the canopy of a forest garden. And yeah, a lot more people than that can be supported on the planet. But in order to demonstrate that, I need to actually take at least an acre and plant it up and spend 15-20 years letting the oldest trees get developed and everything else get to maturity. And after that, we'll see whether or not 6 people can live off of that or not. I bet we can support more than 6. Somebody's sitting in my chair. They're still there. How does that sound to you?
Sounds pretty alright.
Alright, I'm done. See, I can play the guitar. There you go. So what are we going to do? We're going to do a little strumming. You want to hear a little fingerstyle.